Good evening, and welcome to another exciting edition of the Golden Age of Leather. Biker stories from the 70s, 80s, and 90s to present day. Hell, I still ride, and I'm old as fuck. Well, not quite, but I'm getting there. But like my wife, the camera lady, tells me, I get a little older every day. I don't think she means that in a good way. Anyway, I was a little lost on what we was going to talk about tonight, and I decided that I'd kind of leave off where I left off, or pick up where I left off. Hell, I don't know what I'm even trying to say. We talked about going hunting with my good friend and brother Bob, and how much fun that was. Be better if I could hit what I was shooting at, but we started talking a little bit about the Los Lobos, a support club for the Bandidos that I was in, and I guess I'll just start at the beginning of that. Was riding and stuff, and I don't know. The wife's always had a bit of a fetish for bikers, so she was kind of dropping the hint that maybe I should think about getting in a club, a little bit. And we were in the Walmart up there, and we saw somebody that I knew, and he was sporting around a red and gold patch, and I knew right away what that meant. And he stopped and talked to me, and at the time we were on good terms. We'll just call him Chaos. He was actually a freedom rider, but then he went by the name Cobra Kai. Yeah. Anyway, he told me, hey, we're a support club for the Bandidos, told me a little bit of the rundown, and invited me to a meeting, to come and check it out. And I thought, well, I will. And I went over there, and I, hung out a little bit and got to know these guys, and ended up prospecting, which basically was short and sweet because I kind of know what's going on, and ended up eventually getting patched in over there and being in a support club for the Bandidos, which was an experience that I'll never forget. The respect level that you get when you're sporting around a red and gold patch or riding around with a bunch of Bandidos is really awesome. Can't be replaced, and I'd do it again in a heartbeat, really. I'm still affiliated and have a lot of friends in those organizations. Anyway, during the process of this, I met my brother X, who you can check on his own channel of X's Chopper Blog Shop. And we were kind of, the club had a lot of flakes in it. No offense to the good members, which I think were me and X, but there was a few. But we went through a lot of people, because a lot of people think they want to be in a motorcycle club till they are in a motorcycle club. And, the Freedom Riders, they're just a bunch of fun-loving, I don't want to call them any bad names, but they're not serious about being in a motorcycle club. The level that you move up to in a support club really is the same level as the actual club that you're representing. But I don't know. I'd like to say when the shit comes down, you're not in it, but actually you are. Usually they'll send out the support clubs to do their dirty work, and then, if the shit hits the fan, they step in, not the other way around. But ended up affiliated with the Bandidos that were in Cheyenne, and they were all mostly were pretty decent guys. And I'm not going to badmouth any of them because I don't want to get my ass kicked. But not the ones that I would badmouth aren't around anyway. A couple of them were prospects that didn't make it, and they didn't make it because they were shitty. And you know who you are, and I'll say it right to your face. Anyway, ended up being good friends with X. He ended up, we had a couple of people in there that flaked out, and X ended up being the president. I was a sergeant at arms. I think I was actually the vice president for a while, but in the beginning, you know, they're pretty demanding. They want you to do, if they say, you know, be there at 5, you better be there at 10 till 5. Because if you're there at 10 after, they're not going to have anything to say to you. Don't show up wearing tennis shoes. They don't ride in tennis shoes. Don't wear your cut in a car. The car is not your motorcycle. And you better ride if it's possible to ride. I have some funny stories about that, but we'll get to those down the road. But anyway, one of the first things we had to do, me and my brother X, was go down to the Run to the Wall, which is in Red River, New Mexico, and they kind of dropped the ball on us like real short notice. And my bike was being built. My engine was at Acme Machine in Fort Collins at the time, and I was not going to be able to ride. So we took the camera lady's little Dodge Stratus RT down there, and which was nice because we got hailed on and all kinds of shit. But we got down there, you know, and it was kind of I don't know. We never did really find the people we were supposed to be looking for. And when we did find people, we're pissed off. I mean, one place told us, you ain't coming in here. They already done been in here and cleaned us out. And I still don't know what all that was about, but we didn't do it. So we were there, I don't know. I think we were there overnight and left. And then you know, another deal. We got back, and then I don't know, maybe a month or so later, we all rode down to the national convention, which this one was in Colorado Springs, and that was a hell of a good time. And again, another flaky member. He almost got killed over a fucking brownie. He was a big, they called him Baby Huey, because he looked like Baby Huey. And I don't know, he's drunk, and he just decided that he was going to run his mouth in there, you know. He had no respect, and he almost got killed. If it wasn't for me and X basically dragging him out of there, he probably would have got beat up. And I didn't feel like getting beat up because his fat ass had to eat somebody's brownie. And so the way that worked is, they have, man, let me tell you, when they put on a party, they have a kitchen and a bar, and, you know, they're grilling steaks, and they had these big pans of brownies, and they sent their prospect, they said, hey, you know, bust on over there and get us a pan of brownies, because we're all sitting around like a table there drinking and partying and talking, and they're getting to feel you out and see what kind of person you are. And we're the support club there. It was 3 of us, I guess, were all that went, me and X and Baby Huey. And anyway, we're all drinking, and there was like 1 brownie left on this tray. And he just reaches out and grabs it, doesn't ask if anybody wants it or if you can have it. Instead, he could have walked over to where they're cooking and got one, but no. He just reaches over and picks it up and starts shoving it in his mouth while somebody says, hey, that was my fucking brownie. And I'm not going to launch into all the details, but he started being all cocky about it, which was a mistake. And anyway, I don't think I want to die over a brownie. I'll die over a lot of things. I might die over a Girl Scout, but never a brownie. Anyway, that was a fun time. And that was pretty much the last run he ever went on with us. And to this day, I know him. I don't see him around, but I don't have too much respect for him either. But final run there that we went on, really, it was one of the last runs because things went south on lots of levels. But I just got my bike back, got it all put together, and lots of the bugs ironed out of it. And we rode up to Sturgis to meet these guys up there, and they gave us crap directions. And they had a clubhouse up there, and we went up there again later the next year, and we actually found they have a hell of a nice clubhouse up there in Rapid City that actually has a campground attached to it. And it's easy to find because all the Fed helicopters are flying around taking pictures the whole time. That's one thing. If you're if you're going to be in a club like that, you're going to get some attention and maybe you don't want. For instance, my brother, who had a pretty high up in the government job with one of the laboratories, he isn't allowed really to have contact with me because I'm on some hot list for, oh, I don't know, everything. But that's all right. Anyway, we got up there to Sturgis and we got kind of effed around a little bit, and I think both of us were a little PO'd by the time we got done camping in the night, and then we just like loaded up the shit and we left, and we did not drop below 100 miles an hour except like through Torrington and the little towns. We slowed down. The rest of the time we were on the gas. We made it home in like 2.5 hours. Well, it's like a 5-hour ride if you mess around. It was a really good ride, my brother. I miss riding with you, man. Anyway, we'll get to some more tales of excitement and revelry coming up. I think I want to talk about the time that I went with the Freedom Riders to Sturgis, and it was like a traveling clown show of sportsters. A bunch of sportster riders, and the mishap and the mayhem, the dirt drag racing, the naked girls hanging upside down over a hot tub, the AK-47 fire at Buffalo Chip, just crazy stuff, man. Sturgis back in the day was a wide open thing. It's nothing like it was. It's nothing like it is now. Then you would have never brought a kid to Sturgis back then because it was crazy, and I loved every minute of it. I'd love to go back in time and have some fun like that again. Anyway, I think that's where we're gonna leave it for tonight. Hey, camera lady.
Yep.
Come out here and shut this thing off. Anyway, we haven't blown up Iran yet, but I predict it's coming. And just for the record, real quick, what did I say was going to happen with the Super Bowl? She's coughing because she's smoking weed.
It would be a blowout.
Yeah, I said it was going to be a blowout, that the Seahawks were going to spank the Patriots, and guess what happened? They almost blew them out. I think they felt sorry for them and let them get a touchdown. But, you know, the commercials weren't that great. The funniest one, my wife here laughed her ass off about, the one about release your tight end to get a prostate exam.
God, that was funny.
I don't know. And there was one with Brad Pitt's going to be in what's the name of that character? He's a hitman, or he's not a hitman,
No,
he's a stunt man. He was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but it looks interesting. Those were some of the better ones. Bad Bunny, what the fuck? There's no such thing as a bad bunny. Bunnies are
and whoever sang the Star Spangled Banner, that sucked ass.
Bunnies are very timid. My dog will eat one in about 2 seconds flat. But I guess the jersey that he had on said Ocasio on the back, because I guess he thinks that she'd make a good president. And
Lord help us.
And nobody knows the Puerto Rican. Wow, my dog was over there doing something. I'm like, what in the F am I seeing? Anyway, the whole flag that everybody thinks, oh, he's patriotic. He's got a patriotic Puerto Rican flag. That flag is a rebellion flag from the 1800s when they took over Puerto Rico, and it's really a slap in the face to Americans. And if you look into what he was singing about, I don't think he was very entertaining. There's so many other people that could have used that opportunity, you know. Hey, I'm not really a huge Kid Rock fan either, but you know, there's got to be somebody that could have done a better job than Bad Bunny. Anyway, like, subscribe, share, comment below if you think I'm an asshole. I don't care what you think, but you can do that. And we'll see you in a couple days on the next installment of the golden age of leather. Peace.